Good YouTube, you know what it is, man. It's your boy G, man, aka G Bands. So I'm back with another video. This one is titled "How Bacon Became the King of Breakfast." Let's do it.
There's something strangely comforting about the sound of bacon sizzling in a pan. It's not just cooking, it's a little morning performance, a tiny ritual that tells your stomach the day has begun. But as familiar as that moment feels, the truth is, bacon isn't just for the first meal of the day anymore. And that's why today we're taking a look at how bacon escaped being a breakfast food. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other breakfast foods, or former breakfast foods, you would like to hear about. Okay, now hang on.
Now, if you're on YouTube, this is the perfect time to press that subscribe button, man. Come rock with me, man. I drop a video every single day, whether you at work, whether you at practice. Come rock with your boy, man. We be reacting to stuff. I try to do stuff that's like 15, 20 minutes, so you don't gotta wait long. But when your favorite streamer ain't streaming, when your favorite rapper not dropping an interview or something, man, come holler at your boy. I make custom rugs. You can see my other content too, man. So definitely hit that subscribe button and drop a like. If you fucking with bacon, man, drop a like if you like bacon too.
Because this one is really gonna sizzle.
You'll do what I do and believe what I believe. So butter your bacon.
It's almost impossible to pin down exactly when humans started eating bacon, but there's a decent chance no one bothered to write the date down because it predates writing, or at least the point when people who cared about stuff like bacon would have known how to write. Pork has always been one of the easiest animals to raise, and curing meat, salting it, drying it, preserving it, goes back thousands of years. The ancient Chinese cured pork bellies. The Romans did too. Heck, everybody who had pigs eventually figured out what happens when you rub the meat with salt and hang it to dry. But the word bacon tells its own little story. It comes from a whole family of Germanic terms. Baka and bacho baka, words that meant things like back, buttock, or simply something from the back of the pig that you can slice. When the English adopted it as bakken in the 12th century, it didn't mean strips of belly or cured pork specifically. It just meant pork. In other words, bacon was just the medieval catch-all word for pig meat that wasn't fancy or complicated. And if there was ever a people who loved bacon, not as a luxury but as a practical everyday staple, it was the Saxons. In fact, according to the very serious-sounding English Breakfast Society, the Saxon era could almost be called the Golden Age of bacon, in case you're looking for somewhere to time travel to. Back then, families relied heavily on pigs because pigs were the perfect farm animal. They lived on scraps, they reproduced constantly, and they could be slaughtered and preserved in ways that carried households through brutal winters. Bacon wasn't something you served for a treat, it was something you leaned on to survive. A salty, durable, functional food that could last longer than anything else. And up until the Industrial Revolution, bacon remained one of those do-it-yourself foods. Every household that
Yo, do y'all prefer turkey bacon over regular bacon? Alright, let's do this, right? If you like regular bacon, drop a pig in the comments on YouTube. And if you like turkey bacon, drop a turkey in the comments. I want to see like which one's better. Because I might have to do a little taste test and buy a bunch of different flavors. But I think I like regular bacon for sure. So, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there. I want to know what y'all think.
had a pig also had its own personal curing routine. Back then, there was only the dry cure method, which involved rubbing the pork belly with salt, sugar, and other spices. The process could take weeks, even months, depending on the climate. But it worked, and if the bacon ended up rock hard, so be it. You could soak it or boil it or slice it so thin you could make pork by the foot. Everything changed in the 1770s when John Harris, a man from Wiltshire, England, looked at all this rustic home curing and thought, what if we made this a business? Harris then opened the world's first commercial bacon processing plant, and it changed the trajectory of bacon forever. Instead of each family making their own cured pork, entire towns could buy standardized, professionally cured bacon. Harris's operation would become the template for 19th century bacon factories throughout Britain, and the Wiltshire cure, Harris's method, would become the standard. Bacon became less of a
Yo, we heard about, like us running out of like chicken at one point during the pandemic. Do we ever run out of like pork? Because like, how fast do pigs reproduce? And how many babies do they have? Because I feel like we just be like making bacon all the time. Like, no pun intended. Like, I think we always kind of like making bacon. And there's so much pork all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. Like, do America never run out of pigs to slaughter? Not gonna lie. Like, we never run out of pigs? What's up with that?
homemade craft and more of a manufactured product. Still, through all of this, nobody thought of bacon as a breakfast food. It wasn't even a special food. It was just food, a reliable part of meals throughout the day. If anything, eggs were the established breakfast star. Chickens lay their eggs in the morning, and eggs are easy, quick, and always ready. Bacon had not yet found its calling. That part of the story would require a man who believed no idea was too strange.
Alright. Ideal breakfast right now, right? Ideal breakfast right now. Alright. I could go bacon, eggs, or I could go bacon, egg, and cheese. Ooh. Or I could go steak with hard-boiled eggs, for sure. And I need fruit. Fun fact about me, if you don't know, I need fruit with my breakfast, man. If you out here eating breakfast and you don't got fruit with your breakfast, it's like having dinner with no vegetables. You feel me? Like, you need some fruit. Fruit is so good in the morning, bro. Let me put you down right now. I'm gonna put you on right now. If you eating breakfast in the morning, you gotta have some fruit to the side every time. I don't care if it's peaches, pineapple, strawberries. Strawberries will do you right for me. But you just got to, man. Ain't no point in having all this salty stuff if you don't got nothing like to balance it out. Like, fruit is good for you, man. Tap in with it. Now, what he doing right here, I don't know what this is. Eggs, dry toast, bacon look cold with milk. No, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even drinking milk out the cup like that in the morning. Is you shitting me? Is you crazy? I don't know. I'm not doing that. If you doing this, you need to be in jail. You need at least like 2 weeks. Yeah, that's 2 weeks worth of prison right there. Yep, for sure. And that's you. This is what you need. Is watching this right now? Yeah, that's exactly what you need, bro.
If it made people buy something. The fact that bacon became tied to breakfast is one of those historical twists that feels too bizarre to be true. It didn't happen organically. There was no groundswell of public support demanding that the pork belly become the official morning mascot. Americans weren't waking up in 1900 thinking, what if my breakfast crackled more? Instead, the shift came from a corporate panic, and that panicking corporation was Beechnut. Originally a packaging company, they had begun branching out into food, and bacon was one of their new products. But it wasn't selling at all. Americans simply weren't eating much bacon, regardless of the time of day. So Beechnut made a strategic hire, Edward Bernays. Bernays was Sigmund Freud's nephew, which already explains everything, and he is often credited as the father of modern public relations. He was the mastermind behind campaigns that normalized everything from soap carving contests to smoking. He understood human desire better than the humans experiencing it, and if you ever made an impulse purchase, Bernays probably invented that impulse. When he took on the bacon problem, he didn't start with flavor or tradition. He went straight for legitimacy. Bernays reached out to 5,000 doctors with a single, almost comically vague question. Was a hearty breakfast better for you than a light one? Nearly all the doctors agreed that yes, a heartier breakfast provided more energy and was better for health. Bernays took that consensus and connected it to bacon the way a conspiracy theorist draws lines between newspaper.
Let me ask you a question. When do we get to fact check our doctors? Because he just asked 5,000 doctors the same thing, right? And I'm not going to lie, 5,000 sounds like a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to your health, is 5,000 actually a lot? And is that accurate? Like, just because you're a doctor, it don't mean you always right? You know what I mean? Like someone who fixing your car. A mechanic can't be wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like, a dentist don't make mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody make mistakes. Just because you got a certain job, I don't know if that means that you totally just right. I think everybody's body is also different. You know, I think like how much bacon I could eat and how much bacon you could eat ain't the same thing. And it will affect our bodies totally differently. So like, how do doctors make like a basic judgment on what? Like, just off a phone call too. It's like, yo, hey doc, is bacon heartier than having, it's like, wait, he'll give you an answer just like that? And then you gonna go share it with everybody else, and now everybody just living vicariously through you? Like, nah, I'm not jacking that. Like, I'm not saying like I'm against like doctors, but some of that be on a case by case. I think most of it is on a case by case basis. Like, what you can eat and what I can eat ain't the same thing. Like, people say bacon not good for you or this other. Bro, bacon not good for you. I be eating bacon for a minute. I'm cool. I'm chilling, baby. I'm alright with it. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Fuck that. Nah, I ain't giving up bacon. I like bacon, bro. And people who think I'm not eating bacon because pig is a dirty animal, bro, they all dirty, gang. They all outside, bro. getting rained on, shitting and pissing, sleeping where they shitting and pissing at. They all dirty, bro. Some of y'all don't even shower. Fuck out of here. Like, I ain't trying to hear about who clean and who not. Like, stop it. Like,
clippings. Doctors recommend a hearty breakfast. Bacon and eggs make a hearty breakfast. Therefore, doctors recommend bacon and eggs. No flaws in that logic. But just like that, bacon got its doctorate. The campaign exploded across newspapers and radio. Suddenly, bacon wasn't just food, it was doctor-approved fuel. It was endorsed. It was practically medicinal. Advertisement showed strong, industrious families starting their day with bacon and eggs. And America ate it up, literally and figuratively. By the 1920s and 30s, the association was locked in. Bacon had been welded to the morning meal.
I think I want 4 pieces of bacon and no eggs.
This time you want 4 strips of bacon and no eggs. That's what you want for breakfast, right?
Yes.
The wild part is that this wasn't the history of a food slowly drifting toward a particular cultural niche. This was the history of a niche being built around a food. Bacon became breakfast's anchor, not through tradition, but through a PR pitch so effective it reshaped an entire nation's eating habits. Once planted, the idea felt natural. It felt logical. Bacon belonged to breakfast, at least until it didn't anymore. Now that bacon
is bacon like a breakfast thing? Like, is bacon only like eaten at breakfast majority? Because I feel like you can put bacon on anything. I think bacon is like an anytime thing. Maybe I'm just a bacon lover, but like, do you only supposed to eat bacon at breakfast, y'all? Like, is that the only time it's like socially acceptable?
had secured a permanent time slot in the American morning, it's worth stepping out of the narrative for a moment to appreciate what bacon actually is and how it's made. Because the way bacon is cured, smoked, and sliced is the foundation of everything that came later. For most of history, curing meat wasn't about flavor. It was about survival. Salt drew moisture out of pork and prevented bacteria from setting up shop. Smoke added an extra layer of protection. The end result was a piece of meat that could last through winter without rotting or otherwise turning into something that would kill you and your whole family. Today, we don't need curing in the same way, but we still do it because it makes bacon taste like, well, bacon. Salt and thyme fundamentally change pork on a chemical level, tightening its texture and deepening its flavor. So, best accidental discovery ever. Dry curing is the old technique, the one people used for centuries. It's simple, almost brutally so. You rub salt into the meat and let nature do the rest. The process can produce intensely flavored bacon, but it takes a long time. Whole slabs sit in cool conditions for weeks, sometimes months. It's one of those methods that feels like a collaboration with the universe rather than a recipe. Wet curing, on the other hand, trades time for consistency. Instead of relying on salt alone, the pork is submerged in a brine solution. This speeds up the curing process and creates a more uniform result. Many commercial bacon producers adopted this method because it made large-scale production feasible. And then there's injection curing, the industrial speed run that emerged in modern factories. Instead of soaking the meat in brine, manufacturers inject the solution directly into the pork. This dramatically reduces curing time and produces the soft, foldable, slightly watery bacon that most Americans are familiar with. It's also why a lot of bacon shrinks aggressively in the pan, which is one of those little disappointments that you never really grow out of. The kind of bacon you end up with depends heavily on the cut.
Yo, do y'all make y'all bacon in the oven or in the pan? Because I normally throw my bacon right in the oven. Can't front. Normally, I throw my bacon in the oven because I always make double the bacon that I'm about to eat. Because I make a lot of salads. So let's say I want like 3 pieces of bacon. I'll make like 6 or 7 pieces of bacon. Because 1, I'm going to grab 1 and just eat that, obviously. And then 2, I need 3 for my plate. And then the other 3 are going to get chopped up in the bacon bits that I can put inside like a Cobb salad or a chicken salad. That's what I do. So let me know if you like a person who put it in the pan or you're a person who put it in the oven. Preferably, I throw mine in the oven, you know what I mean? I think it's more flavorful in the pan too, though, like, but you can't make as many pieces on the stove as you can make in the oven, though. So I like the oven way better because I could, you know, use it for multiple things, you feel me?
American side bacon comes from the belly and is the crispy, fatty strip that dominates diner menus. Back bacon, the British favorite, comes from the loin and is much leaner, closer to ham in texture. Pancetta is the Italian version, cured but not smoked, often rolled into a tube and sliced thin. There are also more specialized cuts. Collar bacon from the shoulder, cottage bacon from the leaner shoulder area, jowl bacon from the cheeks, and guanciale, which is technically not bacon.
Yo, I did not know it was that many kinds of bacon out there, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel so uncultured or just misinformed, like, or uninformed. I just think bacon is bacon. I don't care what part of the cow it came from, or what part of the pig it came from, or part of the animal. I don't even care what animal it came from. Do it look like bacon? Then let me get some. Come on, man. Run that. I need it. Come on now.
Close enough that Italians use it to make carbonara taste like angels are singing and popping and locking around you. As for health concerns, bacon exists in that strange nutritional category where everyone knows it isn't great for you, but we collectively shrug and eat it anyway. It's high in fat.
See, now that's the thing. So now the doctor in the beginning told him, yo, bacon is hearty breakfast. It's good for you. But we know bacon is not good for you. We know it's not good for you. It's way too salty, way too greasy, way too fattening. We know bacon is not good for you. So how is that? Just because the doctor said it was good, now we just eating it? I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's what it is. This is why I say, listen to doctors on a case-by-case basis, man. Like, what work for you may not work for somebody else and vice versa, bro. Like, you gotta find out what's going on with your body, man. Because this is, I can't just take everybody word for something, bro. I gotta know how something make me feel.
High in sodium and often contains preservatives. The World Health Organization once labeled processed meat as a carcinogen, which caused a brief panic before everyone remembered they had already survived decades of bacon cheeseburgers. Moderation is the simple answer. A few slices won't doom you. A few pounds probably will.
I eat 5 strips of bacon. And for lunch, I eat a bacon sandwich. And for a midday snack, bacon, a whole damn plate.
But no amount of
Now that dude know how to live. I'm just saying.
nutritional caution could stop what happened next. If you want to understand bacon's evolution after the breakfast boom, you have to look beyond America. Around the world, bacon took on wildly different forms and reputations. The British clung to back bacon, the cut that Americans misleadingly call Canadian bacon, even though Canadians themselves don't call it that. Germans had Speck, a smokier, firmer,
Wait, Canadian bacon not from Canada? Oh, chat. See, that's why I gotta get a soundboard, man. That's why most of y'all gotta sub up. If you're on YouTube, subscribe so I can get monetized. Because I need a soundboard for this. Canadian bacon is not from Canada? So why they call it Canadian bacon then? Like, I'm not about to feel dumb about this. I know that you watching this right now. You thought that they're from freaking Canada too. So where the fuck is it from then?
pork, often eaten uncooked. Italians perfected pancetta and guanciale. Japanese cuisine began incorporating a thinner, softer bacon into everything from ramen to onigiri. Korean barbecue developed entire rituals around grilling thick slices of pork belly, samgyeopsal, over tabletop flames. And as bacon spread across continents, bacon alternatives began multiplying as well. People who didn't eat pork sought out turkey bacon or beef-based macon. Vegetarians turned to simulated bacon strips made from tempeh or soy, flavored and smoked until they resembled the real thing. You can even use a peeler or mandolin set thin on a carrot, and then with liquid smoke and the right spices, you've got another alternative to bacon. And then there were the novelty products that signaled bacon was no longer just food, but an idea. Bacon bits that never came near actual pork, bacon
Bro, those are so...
just food, but an idea. Bacon bits.
Bro, those are so disgusting, bro. Those are not good, yo. Like, if you eat this, something wrong with you, bro. This is not good. I don't think this is even bacon, bro. There's nothing wrong with throwing some... Bacon not even hard to make, bro. And you know how much bacon bits you could make just buying regular strips of bacon? This is nasty, bro.
That never came near actual pork, bacon A's, bacon salt, tinned bacon grill, bacon ice cream, bacon lip balm.
Hear me out. Hold on. Bacon ice cream? Bacon ice cream, chat? Might be fire. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna just throw it in there. Bacon ice cream might be OD fire. Not gonna lie, yo.
Bacon A's, bacon salt, tinned bacon grill, bacon ice cream.
Look, hear me out. Would you eat a little bit of bacon on top of your ice cream? I'm just saying. Listen, it's that sweet salty. It might hit. I never tried it before, but if I get one sub this stream, then I'll try bacon and ice cream on stream. How about that, chat? If somebody subscribed to me this time, then I'll do bacon and ice cream on stream and tell you how it is.
Bacon lip balm. If it existed, someone made a bacon version. The world was clearly preparing for bacon's final transformation. Sometime in the early 2000s, bacon stopped behaving. It no longer accepted its allotted role beside eggs and toast, and started showing up in places it had no business being. This was the era when bacon went from a reliable breakfast item to a cultural phenomenon, something people would put on t-shirts, something used ironically, something beloved and mocked simultaneously.
Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make, bacon pancake!
Around 2011, bacon became full
Making pancakes. I'm making bacon pancakes. Making pancakes and put them in a pancake.
unhinged. Food festivals dedicated entire weekends to it. Bars added bacon to cocktails. Donut shops put it on maple bars. Gourmet burger places layered it onto patties 2 inches thick. Chefs used it in dishes that felt like fever dreams. Bacon ice cream, bacon vodka, bacon marshmallows. Sales skyrocketed. Seriously, in 2013, Americans bought nearly $4 billion worth of bacon, the highest in history at the time. Bacon had
Not
escaped
enough
breakfast
anymore.
so completely that its morning origins felt almost quaint. It was everywhere, and it thrived on the chaos. Some of the dishes from this era deserve their own museum exhibit. The Bacon Explosion, a sausage-stuffed bacon-wrapped meat log that became an online sensation, looked like something forged during a battle reenactment. Chicken fried bacon, invented in Texas, turned each strip into a crunchy,
I never had that before. That's diabolic, though. See, now, if a doctor said that this is unhealthy, then I get it. Not only do you got bacon, you wrapped it in some flour and then fried it like chicken. That's OD. Like, you're doing a lot. You asking for a heart attack. I get a doctor saying that's unhealthy. That's crazy.
greasy ribbon of decadence that practically demanded a defibrillator on standby. Chocolate-covered bacon became a state fair favorite, combining sweetness and saltiness in a way that made you question your own decision-making but still reach for another piece. There were quiches, cobs, stratas, and bacon-wrapped everythings. There was bacon jam, a spreadable pork sweet concoction that nature never intended, but humans embraced anyway. By the time the 2020s rolled around, bacon had finally transcended its identity. It had become an ingredient, a flavor category, a symbol, a joke, a comfort food, and a culinary wildcard. It had returned to every meal of the day, reasserting itself with a kind of confidence normally reserved for action movie protagonists. And maybe that's the most interesting thing about bacon. It didn't just rise to cultural relevance once, it did it twice. First, through a PR stunt that completely changed American breakfasts, and then again through a grassroots cultural obsession that placed bacon at the center of everything from fine dining to fast casual monstrosities. In the end, bacon's journey is one of constant reinvention. It began as a medieval preservation tactic because life was harsh and winters were long. It became industrialized in the 18th century, mass-produced in factories that transformed it into a product rather than a process. It was then swept into breakfast by a master manipulator of public opinion. Just when it seemed destined to remain the morning's crispy sidekick forever, it broke free again and infiltrated the entire culinary world. Bacon didn't escape breakfast by rebelling against it. It escaped because we loved it too much to confine it. It became breakfast's biggest star, and then it became too big for breakfast. It became everything else. If breakfast was bacon's first act, then the past few decades have been its sequel. The part where it hops on a motorcycle, barrels through a flaming wreckage, and rides into the sunset with sunglasses on and a greasy grin. And honestly, it earned it. So what do you
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I do like bacon. I only watched that video because I really wanted to hear about some bacon. I ain't gonna lie. Is that crazy because I'm just hungry? YouTube, if you like this video, man, click one of these videos because that's the video that YouTube think you should watch next, man. Holla at your boy. I'll see you in the next video over on YouTube, man.